Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. This morning I am at my buddy's house here in Virginia, just outside of the DC area, and of course got to sleep indoors again. Another nice thing after being on the road and sleeping in the tent for a while. He put my motorcycle up in his garage. He's got a pretty nice Triumph right here. I tried to trade him, but it was a no-go. I think I could make it home on this thing. This would be all right by me. Pretty sharp machine. Just waxing out a little scratch in the tank here. Other than that, it looks pretty sharp. So I was looking at the map, thinking about my direction of travel. Of course, I am going west, a little bit southwest from here. So the Blue Ridge Parkway is pretty close to here, and it does take a southwesterly direction, so I think I'm going to head for that. It's supposed to be a pretty nice road. Goes through the Appalachian Mountains here, and I don't know where I'll end up today, but I will be on a homeward direction at this point, and in a few days I will be getting to Colorado Springs, Colorado. My sister lives there, along with a co-worker who just moved there, I don't know, 6 months or a year ago. Actually only lives like 3 miles away from my sister's house. So that's kind of cool. Don't have any real plans on where I'm going to be tonight or the next night, anything like that, but just heading in that direction. I had thought about dropping down to Birmingham, Alabama and going to the Barber Motorsports Museum down there. The only issue I have with that is it's about 800 miles from here, and then about 1,100 miles or something like that from there to Colorado Springs. But if I go to Barber Motorsports Museum, I know I can make it there in 2 days pretty easily. But then I would spend a half a day there, and then I wouldn't make it very far. So it's really probably going to end up adding 2 days to the trip. So as much as I want to go there, I think I'm probably going to sideline that plan and think about going there at another time. I've seen a lot of good stuff on this trip. I missed a lot of good stuff. I missed out on seeing a lot of people just because, as much as I would love to stop and say hi to everybody, and I absolutely would, it would just add another month to the trip. So if there's anyone out there who I was close by and I didn't stop and say hi, I truly apologize. I want to, but I just have to eventually get home. I do have my lovely wife waiting for me at home, so obviously she's going to take priority over everyone else, even over my own plans, of course. I mean, she's been very gracious in letting me stay on the road as long as I have, and I've pushed that a little bit, so working on making it towards home, get this fine steed where it needs to be. Let me see if I can take a look. Let me put in the key here. I'll take a look at this Triumph while I do so. Get an idea what my miles have been so far for this trip. All right. So it's saying 33,858, and I started at 20,300. So that's 13,500 miles I've done so far, and it's going to be a couple thousand more home. My tires are looking okay. The new back tire is good. Let's see what the front one looks like. I'm thinking it might make it. The front one might make it. It's got 13,000 miles on it. Let's see here. Well, we're getting a little bit thin, but this thing is wearing like iron. So if I get 15,000 miles out of that front tire, that'll be pretty impressive. So as soon as my buddy wakes up, he took the day off of work, he said, so he can ride with me 100 miles, 150 miles. And we'll see where we split and where I end up today. But I am going to try to ride the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then maybe I'll have to get a little bit of interstate riding. As much as I dislike riding on the interstate, you know, I have to make a couple miles towards home. So I'll get back to you a little bit later today. So my buddy joined me for some riding today, and we took some really cool back roads here through Virginia. All overgrown trees over the top of them, and old rock fences along the side of these farms and stuff. The one rock fence I went by was maybe a mile or a mile and a half long, and just thinking about who had to build that and how they had to build it was kind of wild. But here we are at a little stop here. Got the bikes. Just a beautiful day to be out riding, and hopefully we stick to these little back roads for a while. It's so much nicer than riding on the interstate. I mean, when you got to make some miles, the interstate's great, but when you can take the time and enjoy the ride, it's so much better. Especially, you know, a couple of awesome bikes on a day like today. Can't beat it. Life could be a hell of a lot worse. One thing I want to touch on is yesterday I had 2 people tell me that I inspired them. So I'm hoping that anyone who's watching this video doesn't think that I'm doing this just for my own personal gains. Inspiring people is great, and I hope that I can continue to inspire people. You know, I say it at the end of all my videos, but you know, get out there and find your adventure, whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be riding a motorcycle. It could be anything. Your adventure doesn't have to be big, but get out there and do whatever it is that makes you happy. So I'm gonna get on the bike, ride some more, and I'll make a little bit more video later. So this is pretty much what the entirety of Skyline Drive here in Shenandoah National Park was all about. Just a beautiful road, trees, curves. The road is in great shape. Every mile or 2 there was a lookout. You pull over and you just see out over the Shenandoah Valley. And I have John Denver songs going in my mind here. But great place. Let me show you on the map where we're at here. So this is Virginia. I started up here near Washington, D.C. area. Took some back roads. I think we were on 55 for a while and some other little back roads. And then this is the Shenandoah National Park. So I went all the way through here. I'm at the southern terminus here near Waynesboro, probably just outside of there. And then I'm gonna gas up here, and then I'm gonna jump on the road continues down here through George Washington National Forest, and I don't know what else, but hopefully I can find some camping down here. So that's all I got for now. Well, it's morning here in camp. I was having so much fun riding yesterday. Skyline Drive, and then Blue Ridge Parkway was actually probably better than Skyline Drive. I was having so much fun riding yesterday that I just didn't even really pay attention to the time, and next thing I noticed is like, oh crap, it's almost 8 o'clock. And the sun was already, well, it was kind of hard to tell as I was riding through the trees. So once I popped out, I could see the sun was low on the horizon already. And I looked for a campsite, and once again I had to come into campsite at dark. You know, like I said the other day, I don't like to do that, but I said what the hell, gave her a shot, and it turned out to be a really nice campsite. So picnic tables and a fire ring and toilets and free, so you can't beat that. And for my location this morning, let's see here. I think I am right about, where the hell are we at here? Yeah, right near Radford here. Not too far from that. Somewhere up here. Yeah, maybe even right there. There's a picnic table. Yeah, I don't think that's it, but so I'm going to have to take a look at the map and decide my route, but obviously it's going to be westerly. I would like to try to get through some cool roads through West Virginia. I didn't make that many miles yesterday. Got kind of a late start, but it was enjoyable riding with my friend. And I thank him very much for taking me on some cool back roads that led to Skyline Drive, and then he rode with me for a while on there. So if you're watching this, take the entire Skyline Drive and then take as much Blue Ridge Parkway as you could possibly do too, because it's all pretty damn awesome. Now, I am getting sick of seeing deer and sick of seeing bears. I haven't had any bear issues, but every time I sleep in the area, it seems like I always see a bear an hour or two before. So then I know that there's bears in the area, and it just doesn't help me sleep very well. But they don't mess with anything. I have my bear canister here, which I put all my food in. So what you're supposed to do is you put your food in there, you close this lid, and it's supposed to be bear resistant. I think it says it on here somewhere. Well, maybe it doesn't on there. It's supposed to be bear resistant. They're not supposed to be able to get into it. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put that away from your campsite. So I have never had it messed with anywhere, even places where I saw bears. And I don't know, when I go to sleep, if any noise, I'll wake up and I'm like, what the hell is that? And it's almost always some small animal, but I'm looking forward to being out of bear country. So since I didn't make a video last night, I guess this will be a 2-dayer. So we'll see where I end up. So I'm just outside of Pittsburgh, Kentucky here. Been riding since about 8:30 this morning. It's about 1:30 now. And heading towards Colorado. My sister lives in Colorado, so I hit on the mapping program Avoid Highways, and let me tell you, it has been a great ride today. Nothing but nice back road twisties up and down hills through coal mining country in southwest Virginia and then southeast Kentucky. So to try to avoid camping late like I've had the last couple times here, I've set myself a goal. I'm going to try to go to somewhere around Hopkinsville, Kentucky, which is about 250 miles from here. And it should take me about 4 hours avoiding highways. So, oh yeah, and I just fueled up here at Arby's. Arby's, yeah. So I'm good to go for food. We'll see if I can make it. I found a couple campsites in that area already. So I am going to do my best to keep moving and not set up my tent in the dark. All right, let me put this away and hit the road. All right, so my plan to make it before it got dark kind of worked. It's not quite dark, but what a nice campsite here. I would have been here considerably earlier. The lady in the booth taking the money, which I have to complain at the free campsite website once again, because it said it's free and it wasn't. But since I had the access pass from the national park, I got half price. But anyway, that lady was taking just forever. And then I happened to ask about a place to get a cold beer, and she said there was a store just down the road, which turned out to be about 12 miles. So between her taking time and me going 12 miles to get a cold beer and come back, yeah, it's getting dark, but it's not dark, and the view is good. I'm camped up here. I got some neighbors playing some music, but you know, this is kind of the reason why I don't like going to campgrounds like this, because I mean, you're right on top of each other, and you pay $24 is what they wanted for this. I paid $12 for a place to put a tent down. It's not even grass, it's gravel. The amenities are a picnic table and a fire ring. I can't really be bringing firewood on a motorcycle. It's not that easy to do. But anyway, I'll just let it be, because it is a very nice location. Today was an awesome day of riding. Back roads all through Kentucky. Wow. Tobacco farms. The nice thing about these back roads, avoid highways, you go through small towns, And I love small towns, especially in a place like this. The small towns, I mean, some of them are prospering and some of them are just in despair. And maybe it sounds kind of weird, but I kind of like to see the old towns kind of falling apart. I saw a lot of abandoned houses and barns, and it just really intrigues me, like, oh, what used to be in there. And then towards the end of the day here, I got into Amish country, and I kind of saw a sign that said something about a store, so I swung down there because that was about 20 miles before I got here. Well, it was kind of an Amish store. It was really interesting. A lot of Amish folks hanging out there. And then I saw something that I have never seen ever in my life, and that was some little people, Amish, dwarf, well, I don't know what the correct PC term is, but I saw some very small Amish people. So I guess I have seen it all on this trip. I'm about 1,000 miles away from Colorado Springs. I plan to be there in 2 days. So we'll see how she goes. But right now I need to go get my tent out, set it up, get my beer out, and enjoy it. And hopefully my neighbors don't party too late. I already told them they need to keep it down. I'm the motorcycle guy who's not making any noise. So, but anyway, thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.